You point out that he doesn't have the Princess of Wales by his side, and I say we always, wish her the best on the show, and come back when you're ready. Do you know what I mean? Whenever
and no pressure from anyone for her to come back.
But you've done a story, royal correspondent at Vanity Fair. You've written a story this week. What can you tell us about it? It was about I think you think that she's turned a corner.
Yes, I've been told by sources very close to the Princess of Wales that she had struggled with the treatment initially. I mean, it's preventative chemotherapy. It's not a pleasant thing. No one wants to have this. Off the back of major surgery, a pretty long recovery period, and then she has to go through the treatment. I think it was a struggle initially, and I was very, very relieved to hear from actually more than one source that she has recently turned a corner. She's been spotted out and about with her children. So while she can't be at events like the D-Day commemorations, and she's not going to be at trooping, just to know that she's up and about and being able to be a mum, which for her is the most important job, I think is very, very encouraging. And we all wish her, the very best with this treatment. We wish her a speedy recovery. And there was a story, I don't know if you've spoken about this on the show before, but I think it was a story in one of the US websites or in one of the US magazines that she's not going to be returning to work in the same capacity again. I really think this is not the case. Everything I hear is that she will be back to work. She's coming back 100% to pick up as the Princess of Wales and do the great work she was doing before. It will just be in her time when she's ready, and crucially, when she gets the sign-off from her medical team.
Two things from that. I mean, if she's doing better, or she's turned a corner, the fact that William was able to go and do 2 days of engagements and attend the wedding means that he's able to leave the Princess of Wales at home for 3 days.
100%.
Yes, which is a really good sign. You made me think of that. That's a really positive.
Yeah, if she wasn't
signal.
well, he would probably be, and he has pulled out of events, as we know before. So I think it's all very, very encouraging.
You spoke there about the reports in the American media. There's a lot of rubbish that's being written across Europe and on TV in Europe and stuff like that, and also in America. And it's kind of not our job to maybe clarify it, but it's our job to kind of just knock down some of the nonsense.
Yeah, I think that's a story worth knocking down.
Yeah, it's just not true. I mean, I sometimes get some European TV companies asking me certain questions because they've heard rumours that she's unwell and stuff like that. Yeah, she's not. I mean, we can say that, can't we? She is doing well.
She's doing well, and she's absolutely going to be coming back to work. That is her intention. And I think, while she's at home recovering and doing as much as she's doing, these sorts of stories are not helpful and shouldn't be perpetuated. So for the record, she is coming back, but it will be in her own time. I think all of this, Matt, has shown just how vital she is to the monarchy. We need her. She and William are the future. So if she needs to be out until the end of the year, it doesn't matter. To know that this is the time she needs to get better so that she can come back and do the important work that she started as Princess of Wales, that's the most important thing. There's no hurry.
We've both done stories with the Princess of Wales. We've both been on engagements with her. What are your memories? Are there any fond memories of times that you've spent with the Princess of Wales at home or abroad?
There's been lots of lovely times. I mean, I've always found her to be engaging and warm and kind, and she would always ask about my children. I remember, as sort of working mothers, often being on royal tours, she didn't always take the children with her. And I remember really bonding with her over how difficult it was being away from our children while we were on royal tours. And both of our children were being looked after by our mothers. And we were both laughing about the fact that they were probably being plied with chocolate buttons and crisps or whatever else and having all those naughty treats. But of course, wonderful time with their grandparents. So, there's a real human there. She's a real person. And I think we've seen her frailty. I think most people don't get to see her sense of humour, and she does have a really great sense of humour. I've been in many unusual situations with her and William. I mean, I think probably the most unusual was being in an earthquake in India on one of the royal tours and catching up with them after the event when, thank goodness, we were all safe. And having a pretty stiff drink at the sort of off-the-record drinks reception just to calm our nerves.
Where was that? Tell me a bit about that. Was that in?
That was our tour to India. They did a tour of India and Bhutan, and they were at a national park. We were ahead of them. We'd arrived in the major city, but this earthquake was so big, they felt it more acutely in the national park. But me and the royal press pack were just checking into our hotels, and literally the chandeliers are shaking, and you were feeling the earth move under your feet, and it was pretty scary. I have to say, it was one of those moments you don't forget. When they were safely with us at the next destination, we did just sort of meet for this off-the-record drinks to just, you know, convene, have a conversation, and I can't tell you the details. I thought his speech was very powerful and very moving. I think we're becoming more used to seeing William on the stage as very much taking on that sort of diplomatic statesman role, and he does it very, very well. You know, he's in a difficult position, Matt. He's got a wife who's going through cancer treatment, and I think we all felt her absence very, very acutely over the past 2 days. You know, even William said she would have loved so much to have been there, and she would have done. So you're feeling that for him there. Of course, it would have been an absolute honour and a privilege for him to have represented his father at the ceremony that you were at the end of the day. He would have had no problem with that, but it's just all a reminder of, I think, how much weight and burden is falling to William. Now, he makes it look effortless. I mean, he did that impromptu walkabout, didn't he? Meeting veterans in the French town, and wasn't expecting that. You know, he loves to have that face-to-face connection. And what I think is interesting is he is just as comfortable doing that as he is with meeting world leaders. He's playing the role of Prince of Wales brilliantly, perfectly, but I think it's a huge burden on him at the moment. He is going through a lot, and I think in all of this, it's a reminder that the royals are just human like the rest of us. But I thought your report was fascinating. It was really interesting to know what's going on behind the scenes, and that, you know, Charles is having not only brilliant medical care, obviously the best of the best, but he's able to do it and go to these events. I mean, this was non-negotiable. That's what he said to his team. It's what he said to his medical team and the team at the palace. He had to be there, just like he has to be at trooping. You know, it means he's not at today's wedding. It means that perhaps, you know, his schedule was adjusted a bit so as not to put too much pressure on him. He's not physically on his feet the whole time. But the point is, he was there for those moments. He gave 2 brilliant speeches, you know, and I think we needed our monarch at that event.
They were also concerned that and it did happen, the event would overrun.
Yeah.
So he was already in the air when it started, but they were, I think the last time it started 2 or 3 hours late at the 75th anniversary. It started late this time because Zelensky, Biden all arrived one by one, and it overran. So I think it was the right decision, and the right decision, you know, William was an able stand-in. But also, well, I was in the stand because there was a little kind of makeshift arena that they had built, and there was lots of children there. There was lots of French school children, they were. And when Zelensky came in, he got a big cheer, obviously. But when William came in, there were gasps and cheers. Honestly, I don't know if it got picked up on the TV cameras, but I was really surprised about how excited everyone was for seeing William.
Maybe they were expecting to see the king, and that's why people were surprised. Right. I don't know, but the fact that he had such a warm reception, as he did on that walkabout, I think shows the fondness for William. I think people recognise that he's doing a great job and doing it on his own, because he doesn't have his wife by his side at the moment.